Lucy, Part 4. The following day, Lucy knew it was time that she had to get up, get on, and get to work. Her very first day at the new school. She was really looking forward to working in the office with the other girls and getting to know the children and getting to know the other people that worked there. She had been told some of the people were really nice and she was really looking forward to meeting them. She got up, got washed, got dressed, got everything together she needed, had a quick porridge of quick breakfast of some cereal, and off she went. When she arrived at the school gates, making sure she was there pleasantly early, but not too early, so she looked too eager and an idiot, she went in. The place seemed dead, but she noticed there was a few cars and a couple of push bikes dotted about, so she knew she wasn't the only person there. She walked across the playground, found the office, and pushed the door. The door didn't open, so she knocked. Someone, a smiling young lady, who pronounced herself as Stephanie, opened the door. From the moment Lucy saw her, she knew that Stephanie was going to be someone that she could be great friends with, and that turned out to be true. Stephanie, or Steph, as she liked to be called, showed Lucy into the office of the headmistress. They had a quick tete-a-tete about what was expected of her today, and Lucy was shown to her office. The office wasn't overly big, but it had a window where the pupils, teachers and parents could talk to her. She could open and shut the window as she liked, and there was a bell outside to be rung if she was caught up in something else. She found all the bits she needed where she expected them to be. The registers, filing cabinets, computer, everything she would need for the day. She took out her bag and from it she removed everything she had brought from home. Notebook, ruler, pencils, rubbers, all the kind of office utensils that one would carry around with them. Once she settled herself down, she checked the time and realised she had time perhaps to have a cup of coffee. She went to the staff room where there was a lot of noise going on, a lot of mingling and a lot of, "Hi there, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so," and she was introduced to several people. She grabbed a cup of coffee and carefully carried it back to her desk. She sat down. First things first, she thought, I'd better sort out these registers and get them to the classrooms. She knew that the children would probably bring them back from the classrooms, but she thought it a good idea to deliver them. So slowly she went round, finding the rooms of each class, obviously with the numbers and a picture on, so that she knew what they were, and handed them in. And if the person wasn't there, just laid them in the centre of the desk. She came back to her office and found the day had begun. First things first, there were parents coming in, the bell was ringing. They were paying in things like dinner money, photograph money, trip money, all kinds of things like that she took and noted immediately with the time and the date and the name of the parents and whatever the item was. She did not want to mess up. A little later on, a group of children came, giggling and almost running down the corridor. "Hello, miss," they went. "We're bringing back the registers." "Thank you," she said, and asked them their names. They came forth with their names and she introduced herself as Lucy. "Not Miss. No, you can call me Lucy," she said. After all, she thought to herself, I'm office staff. Why can't I just be Lucy to these children? I'm hoping they'll be here a long time and maybe see them all the way through this school. Finally, Lucy settled down to get on with some office work that she had been given. She had some typing to do, she had some letters to send, and she had a number of things to put on the computer, reminders for herself, a diary for the headmistress, all sorts of bits and pieces. Lunchtime came and went, nothing extraordinary. She went into the school hall with a mingle of children chattering, plates banging, spilt water and meals for all. It was an enjoyable meal. She just simply had something quick. She had a salad, a cheese salad, which she got from the salad bar, and followed it up with an apple, which she relished as she was quite hungry. Breakfast time seemed long, long ago. She then decided the best thing to do would from now on be that she'd try and get in there as early as possible, because she didn't want to get in the way of the children, and she really didn't want it that she was spending a lot of her time queuing when they only had an hour for lunch. There were things she would like to do in the lunch break. She had a new book that she was reading. She'd got some puzzles that she had bought, word puzzles, and she wanted to work her way slowly through them. So she felt that this would be the perfect time to do so. Little was she to know that there would be no time for such a thing. Some of the dinner times she had yard duty, and some of the dinner times she sat and laughed and chatted with Stephanie and the other teachers. Very rarely would she ever get time just to read or to do a word puzzle, unless of course she left and went off to find a corner of the school where there was no one about. Stephanie and her really were going to be good friends, and that became plainly obvious. They had so many things in common: literature, artwork, all kinds of things, and Lucy was more than happy to tell Stephanie all about her growing up life, her university life, and of course her new cottage. Lucy said she had known Mrs. P. She had grown up around here, and Mrs. P had been a bit of a character, and everybody had loved her dearly. She was kind and generous and sweet, and everybody thought that Lucy was really lucky to have gained Mrs. P's cottage. When I was growing up, Stephanie said, the cottage was a cottage of my dreams. You know, oh, look at that cottage when I grow up. I'm going to have roses round the door and all that. Both the girls erupted into peals of laughter, and everybody looked at them. It's okay, said Stephanie. We're just talking about wanting to be princesses when we were 6. That night, the first night, Stephanie told Lucy that they had a pub nearby called the Crown. And within the Crown, they would have a quiz night once a week on a Friday, and invited Lucy to come along. I'd love to, said Lucy. That sounds like great fun. What a great way, thought Lucy, to get to know more of the villagers and to get to know more of the people. Well, the people that went to the pub, of course. Anyway, Lucy ended her day by taking in all the registers from the register shelf, checking them through, making sure all was noted that should be noted in the end margin. She got all her belongings together and tramped her way home. Funnily enough, she felt really tired. Why do I feel so tired? She thought to herself. Probably the stress of going somewhere you don't know, said a tiny little voice inside her mind. You're right, she said. What an adventure. My first day at my new school. My new school, she thought. Sounds like I'm 10. But anyway, on getting home, she unlocked the door, and as she opened the door, she noticed Phyllis running along the garden path. Meowing, meowing, meowing. She let her in. Hello, sweetheart, she said as she bent down. The cat rubbed her head against Lucy's hand, and she realised that they were friends, which was good. She put Phyllis out some fresh water and some food, and then she went off into the kitchen to think for herself what she should have for the day. She thought, I've had my main meal. I think I'll just go with a sandwich. So corned beef and Branston pickle it was then. She had a nice sweet cup of tea. She felt she needed the energy. She'd still got her own washing and that to do. She must get on with that. She didn't want to leave it. And of course she would hang it out, hopefully in the morning, if the weather was good. So that's what Lucy did. Her evening was full of washing, sitting, reading and listening to music. Hopefully the next day would be equally as good as the last, she hoped. And sure enough, I'm sure it would be, because Lucy was settling into Mrs. P's cottage and she was settling into the school. And we'll gather Lucy up again and see what she does another time. Bye everyone. Love you. And Conny says goodbye.